friends, welcome to Bookish Bliss, our virtual book club. Every week we will dig into a section of chapters in our favorite books. Let's get started.
Hey book besties, and welcome back to Bookish Bliss for episode 95. We have a lot to discuss today.
We are continuing our journey through Sarah J. Maas's tandem read of Empire Storms and Tower of Dawn, and this week it's all about chapters 40 to 51 of Empire Storms. So you don't have to read the entire book, but you do need to be caught up on the chapters we're covering because we are going full spoiler mode. Amanda, darling, what are you drinking tonight?
Just a good old Poland Springs water bottle.
Oh, lovely.
I have run out of salsa, but that's all right. What are you drinking tonight, darling?
Well, I was thinking that you were going to be drinking seltzer, so I got a ginger lime mule.
Oh my God, I'm so happy for you. No, I'm out. I'll get some more tomorrow, though.
Nice. Yeah, because I know last week I had my bubbly.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, let me do some ginger lime mule to
Oh,
match Amanda tonight.
it's
But
the
no.
best. One
Well,
day we'll have it
cheers.
together.
Yes. Cheers to episode 95
Yep.
of Bookish Bliss and part, what is this, 7, 8?
Part 8.
Part 8 of our tandem read. Cheers.
Cheers.
Ah, yum.
Some crisp water. I never have just plain water anymore, so sometimes you just need a plain water bottle.
You just gotta do what you gotta do. So I am on the couch again, but a different couch. This is my own couch that I've weirdly just like, please don't mind what's going on behind me because
You won't even see it once I edit you.
yeah, well, I was just the pillows because I hurt my back or just hurt myself in trying a Legree class this evening, and my whole body is in so much pain already. I just can't even lift my arms, so I didn't put any makeup on. I'm in the most oversized of oversized sweatshirts you could ever wear, and I'm sitting with a blanket on my lap, surrounded by many pillows.
Well, you look comfy. I'm still at my setup, but I'll eventually be on a couch one day.
I just the thought of sitting in that uncomfortable kitchen chair was sending me into a spiral.
Yeah.
So I was like, nope,
not happening.
Not doing it. I'm just going to sit on the couch now that I know that the couch can work.
Indeed.
Amanda, what is your bookish news this week?
Oh my gosh. I've listened to so many books. Thanks to Libby, I'm like on fire. I've done,
yes.
I think I started Filthy Rich Fae last week on the podcast, but I finished that. I finished The Fallen Court, which is the second Filthy Rich Fae. And I finished the first 2 books of Vampire Diaries.
Oh my gosh, darling.
All on Libby, listening to Libby.
You're killing it.
Yeah, I'm killing it. I got 4 books in 1 week.
That's insane.
I'm 5 books in for the year.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Not me.
I've been playing Animal Crossing because the new update's about to come out tomorrow, which I'm souped about. Mm-hmm. But I've been listening to like an audiobook while I play it because sometimes you have to do mindless shit and I get so bored. But I'm like, if I'm listening to a book, I can do mindless shit on the game. So
yeah.
Like you have to dig clams to make bait, but it takes fucking forever. You have to make one. You have to dig one at a time, make one at a time. So I'm like, I can listen to my book while I do this.
I love that.
Yeah. What about you, darling? What have you read this week?
Well, I finished nothing, which no one is surprised by that update. But I did go get a library card since we last recorded, and I downloaded the Libby app, and so I have some books on hold, and I've been listening. I'm about 8 hours in out of 16 hours to Hexed by Emily McIntyre, which Amanda gifted me during our Book Bestie Challenge.
Indeed, darling.
And as that was a book you rated 5 stars, or a book you wanted me to read, or a book?
I think it was a book I thought you would like.
Yeah.
Because what was the other one?
No, because you gave me a hockey one for that
one.
Oh,
yeah, you're right. So this was a 5-star one, yeah. Because Silent Patient was one that I thought would be out of your comfort zone.
So I did start reading Silent Patient, but I just haven't had any time to read. I barely have time to read.
I know. She's been busy, guys.
I've been so busy.
I have barely talked to her.
I don't know what I'm even doing.
I know.
But no, it's been crazy. Well, yeah, and even tomorrow I have work that I've been working out more too.
Yeah.
So I'm going to work, got to go work out, then I got to pack because then I'm going to North Carolina for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I come home one day on the Monday, and then I leave Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm in
It'll be a
Vegas.
miracle if we can get another episode next week. We'll see.
If there's a delay, just know it's because I'm jet setting
Yeah.
and I'm not bringing my fucking microphone to
I was gonna
Vegas.
say I will be ready to record early, but we'll see if Megan is with her busy ass
Can
schedule.
you imagine? I just like pack this in my
I
suitcase and I'm
know.
recording from my Vegas hotel
Oh my
room.
god, I know. Kick everyone out.
Well, it's just me and Christina. Christina will just be in the podcast episode.
Yeah. She'll just be there.
Yeah. But I'm really liking it. So next up on deck that I have on Libby, I'm going to be reading. I'm like obsessed with checking what number I am in line
I
for the holds. Like
know
I
I'm
literally
on
check it like it's going to change like every 5
I
seconds.
feel bad because I'm so sucked into Vampire Diaries right now. It's so different than the show,
Hmm.
but it's still very intriguing to me. And I'm very into it. So obviously nobody is reading Vampire Diaries right now on Libby, so I'm getting them right away. But
Yeah.
I feel bad because people are waiting for 3 of the books that I have. At least 2 people are waiting on 2 of the books, and I'm like, "Oh, I just don't wanna read it yet, but I don't wanna give up my place in line."
Don't give it
So I'm
up.
like,
Like if you're
"Oh, whatever. I'll just read it until it's due because it's not due for, like because you borrow them for 3 weeks. So it's, like, due in
yeah.
14, 15 days. I'm like, "I can bang out some Vampire Diary books and read this in 15 days."
Yeah, I'm 50% through Hexed, and then, yeah, I have 16 days left of Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez, but that's only 10 hours.
Yeah, you can
And
finish
then
that
I
in a day.
have Deep End by Allie Hazelwood will be up after that.
Nice.
And then on hold, I changed one because one I realized was not an audiobook.
Oh, yeah.
So I have Mate by Allie Hazelwood, which I'm 48th in line. Then Heart the Lover by Lily King. That keeps like popping up everywhere for me, so
Mm.
that's why I want to read it. I'm 75th in line. The Academy by Ellen Hilderbrand. I'm 108th in line.
Oh my
And
god.
then Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm 268th in line. But I started at 289th.
That's
So
crazy. I think my longest one, I was 87th or 86th in line for Alchemized, and now I'm 38. I don't know.
nice.
I don't pay attention to the holds because I'm ripping through so many of my loans.
That's so funny. I just like I don't know why I just like love to look.
Yeah. I own Vampire Diaries, which is why I'm trying to get all the books on Libby that I already own so that I move them from my to read shelf to my red shelf. So that's why I'm reading Vampire Diaries. But I really do like it. Although, for some reason, in the middle of the series, there's like 3 books that aren't on any audios. So I
That's
guess
so
I'm going to have to read
random.
those on my paperbacks or on the Kindle because I can get it through
Yeah.
Libby on the Kindle. But
Yeah.
we'll see. All right, let's get started with the good stuff and break down the tandem read part 8. It's so crazy to actually hold the books and see how far we are now. Like we're so much
I
further in
know.
Empire Storms now that we've had 2 weeks of just Empire Storms.
I
We're
know.
starting
It's
with
something
you tonight,
crazy.
darling.
All right. Empire Storms, Chapter 40. Allied realizes she will soon need to break away from the traveling circus and head north towards Terrason as the group continues east. The towns they pass through are worn out from the repeated carnivals, and Allied's Oracle tent attracts only a few customers. In contrast, Lorcan becomes a major attraction, effortlessly drawing crowds, mostly women, which both Molly and Allied notice and enjoy. After returning to her tent, Lorcan follows Allied and mentions the offers he received for a night of fun, though accepting would jeopardize their disguise. He questions why Allied doesn't take advantage of the attention she receives, and she admits she has never been with anyone before. She's about to explain why when screaming erupts through the camp. The Ilkin have arrived. Lorcan, distracted by Allied and her oracle attire, initially doesn't notice them. He orders Allied to hide under the wagon, knowing they are hunting her. The Ilkin describe Allied and reveal her true name, exposing that Marion is a false identity. Lorcan
Mhm.
denies knowing anyone by that name, but the Ilkin, angered and denied their reward, threatened to eat them instead.
Oh, shit. Lots of
Oh,
action in this
shit.
section for sure.
Yes, though I just like love this section just because it's showing a little bit more bonding of Lork and Elide, or at least them admitting to themselves that
Yeah.
there's like definitely an
Yeah.
attraction between them, or like she's having fun ogling him, he's having fun ogling her, and when
Calling
he
each other
finds
their wives
out,
and husbands.
yeah, and when he finds out that she's never been with anyone before, he is very distracted.
Yeah, he's like, "Ooh, I could be the only one,
Yes, he
honey."
men.
Men.
But he's so distracted that he doesn't even realize that the Ilkin have shown up
Mhm.
looking for Alide, hunting her down because of the word key that she carries.
Yep.
And they describe her perfectly, but they expose that her name is not Marion, it is Alide. And Lorcan knows that she has lied to him this whole time.
Indeed, darling, she's a little lying liar.
But he covers for her. He's like, I don't know anyone by that name.
Yeah.
And so they're like, well, fine. We had all this gold we could have given you, but now we're going to eat you. And Lorcan's like, hold my beer.
Literally. They're like, "Yeah, you thought I was lunch, but Imma really kill you instead."
Yep.
Thanks, darling, for that lovely summary.
Thank you.
Empire Storms Chapter 41. Alide had hidden herself inside a floor compartment in the wagon, listening to the screams outside as the Ilkin attacked. The last thing she had seen before shutting herself in was Lorcan running straight towards the winged creatures. When the screaming finally stopped, she forced herself out, determined to find him. Lorcan was waiting and immediately demanded to know what she would have done if he had been an Ilkin soldier. He told her the first thing she should have done was ditch the red robe, and the second was to tell him the truth. He called her by her real name, revealing he had known she'd been lying. Alide pushed back, insisting she had no reason to trust him. He already knew too much, and she had no proof he wasn't planning to hand her over. Lorcan, however, had risked his life for her despite carrying secrets of his own. He asked what she was carrying that the Ilkin wanted so badly, and Alide admitted only it was a gift meant for Selena Sardathian from a woman imprisoned in Marath. She warned him if he intended to use her as a ticket back to Marash, she would kill herself before letting that happen. Lorcan realized he could easily steal the object from her, but after all that terrible things he had done in his life, this was the line he would not cross. Sensing his internal struggle, Alai told him her story, how she survived Marath, how she had escaped. Lorcan shared pieces of his own past in return, including his blood oath to Maeve. They both kept parts of their histories hidden, but it was the first real exchange of trust between them. In their loneliness, their lack of family, and their years of surviving on their own, they recognized something of themselves in each other. For now, they agreed to remain with the traveling carnival under the danger until the danger from the Ilkin passed. As they settled into this uneasy alliance, Lorcan couldn't help wondering what in the gods' names he was doing and why he suddenly cared so much about the girl who had lied to him from the start.
Ooh,
Definitely a
shoot.
little lovely relationship building in this
Yes.
chapter.
Well, no, in this whole episode, if
Yeah.
you really think about it, you have a Rowan and Aelin
Yeah.
moment, you have Manon and
I
Dorian.
know. There's also like so much good foreshadowing in this section. So the Ilkin are attacking. Alide is just like hearing the screams, petrified. She's like, if they find me, I'm done for. I will not let myself go back to Marath. She even tells Lorcan, if you think I'm your ticket back there, I will fucking kill
Yeah.
myself. That was the foreshadowing because at the
Yeah.
end of this section, she obviously tries to kill herself once her uncle finds her, which we'll talk about when we get there. But the
Yeah.
foreshadowing is just set up so nicely. I love it.
Yep, it is.
So they're still fighting at this point, too. You know, obviously he mentions that she lied and he knows.
Mhm.
Alide's like, why should I have trusted you? I know you have your own secrets. You're just using me until you could get what you want and then you'll disappear too. She has it in his mind that he's going to disappear, which is why she believes her fucking uncle so easily later. But
I know.
she senses that he has an internal struggle, though. So she's somewhat feeling his vibe here. She tells him a little bit about how she survived Marath, and he, in exchange, talks about the blood oath with her. So they're finding some common ground together.
Yes.
To For now, we're gonna stay with the traveling carnival until they can be rid of this danger of the Ilkin. Even though that does not go as planned for them, that's the course as of now.
Nothing is going correct for anybody in this
Literally.
section.
No. It's chaos. Yeah.
Chaos. Not one calm chapter.
No. Just a lot of feelings and a lot of action.
Yes. Empire Storms, Chapter 42. Manon awakes in the ship's captain, and Aelin is with her and tells her to relax, reminding Manon that she now owes her another life debt. Manon's only concern is whether Alide reached Aelin safely. Aelin reassures her that Abraxos is fine, acting like an overprotective nursemaid and
Mhm.
sunbathing on the deck, and explains that Manon had told him to find somewhere safe, which led him to Aelin and Co. Aelin makes Manon's situation clear. She is not free to leave. Any attempt to escape, harm others, or cause trouble will result in death.
Mhm.
Life debt or not. Aelin will kill her if she steps out of line. Manon realizes she has nowhere else to go. She is no longer the Blackbeak heir, does not know where the 13 are, and she is a half-blooded Kraken. Overwhelmed, she falls asleep without fully realizing it. Manon remains unconscious for 3 days, and during that time, Dorian watches over her while dealing with seasickness. As they near Eelway, he thinks about Nehemia and wonders whether the word mark she placed on him awakened his powers. He avoids asking Aelin about her emotional state as they near Eelway and her thoughts on Nehemia. The ship still has another week before reaching the stone marshes and relying on Rolf's directions to guide them safely. When Manon awakes, she and Dorian speak. She asks if she is his prisoner as well, but he tells her his life debt is already paid. Dorian explains how Abraxos flew directly to them and mentions that Manon fell from the saddle, though he does not dwell on the fact that he jumped into the water to save her. Aelin and Rowan tended to Manon's injuries afterward. Dorian asks whether Manon considers herself more Valg than human, and she replies that the Valg and Erewhon are her enemies. Manon asks about Alide, but Dorian has never heard of her and has no news of the 13. Manon asks him to tell Aelin that Alide is alive and searching for her. Manon then falls back to sleep, dreaming of her parents, her half sister's blood on her hands, and animals watching her. Though she wants the dreams to hurt her, they never do, and she continues dreaming. So,
Manon,
not
Manon,
really,
Manon.
no new information really in this chapter,
Yeah.
just that Manon's injuries have now been tended to, though she's still in and out of consciousness because obviously it was a bad injury. Aelin confirmed that to everyone that she had been gutted,
Yeah.
and it took a lot out of Rowan and Aelin to be stitching her back together and having her heal. But all Manon really cares about at this moment is Abraxos, who seems to be doing just fine
Yeah.
on the ship sunbathing and scaring the shit out of everyone. And Alide, and if Alide had made it to Aelin yet, because it's been quite some time since
Mhm.
Manon dropped her off in the forest. But Dorian's like, I don't know anyone with that name. So really, Manon, before she passes out, was like, tell Aelin that Alide is alive and is looking for her,
Yes. She
which
finally
causes a
mentions
little bit
it.
of an uproar.
Indeed. Just a little.
We get a nice little mention of our girl Nehemia as
Mhm.
we're reaching Eelway, and we're about a week away from the stone marshes, but
Mhm.
it was sad to mention her
I
again and
know.
just reminiscing on everything that could have been if she was still
Oh,
alive.
I know. She would have loved this version of Selena.
Oh, yeah.
Or I mean, Aelin. I
Aelin.
don't know why I called her Selena. You just
And
say Nehemia and I think Selena.
yeah, and even Dorian, because he's like, I wonder
Yeah.
if that word mark had awakened my powers, and she kind of knew the potential that Dorian had, and I feel like he is definitely living up to everything she would have wanted him to
Yeah, I
be.
feel like even if he did get his magic, I don't think he ever would have expected it or thought
Hmm.
he even had it without her using that word key on him.
Yeah,
Because I don't know, I feel like he might have one day gotten so mad or have seen signs, but not really thought it was magic because he didn't have that encounter. I don't know.
right,
He probably didn't think he was magical.
right. He had no idea he was
Yeah.
magical. Crazy.
Crazy. Empire Storms, Chapter 43. Lorcan was still questioning his own choices 3 days later. Alide had kept her distance from him, but when their traveling carnival reached a small town and set up camp, the two of them ended up sharing a tent for the night. Lorcan quietly used his magic to mask her limp, something she didn't acknowledge, though he knew she noticed. His mind kept drifting to the Ilkin and the horrors emerging from Marath, wondering whether Aelin and Rowan knew of these new creatures and whether the creatures were preparing to resist Aelin's fire. Trying to break the tension, Lorcan told Alide a storm was coming and that he wanted shelter. and storms meant taverns, and taverns meant gossip. Exactly the kind of information
Mm.
they needed. He followed her inside, marveling that in 5 centuries he had never met anyone quite like her. Lorcan's fallen in love.
Whoa, that's a bold
I
statement.
know. He watched her scan the room with a predator's focus, searching for someone who knew things but wasn't foolish enough to snitch. For a moment, he imagined her working for Maeve, then recoiled at the thought. Maeve would twist someone like Alide into something monstrous, and besides, Alide's mortality made her useless to Maeve's long term schemes. Which I believe, unfortunately, is some foreshadowing. But we'll talk about
Mm.
that in a sec.
Okay.
After visiting 3 taverns, Alide finally gathered the information she needed. Aelin had wreaked havoc in Skulls Bay and was likely headed toward Eelway. Lorcan had reached the same conclusion. Alide decided to travel to Ben Jolly in Eelway to meet her, and Lorcan offered her a map, only for Alide to admit she couldn't read. He was genuinely impressed she had survived this long without the skill. Before Alide even noticed, Lorcan heard guards approaching. He suspected their carnival companions had sold them out for coin. He gave Alide 2 choices: stay and confront Nick and Umbriel to see if they had betrayed them, or flee immediately. Alide chose the second option without hesitation. Lorcan threw her over his shoulder and sprinted for the water. He confronted a sailor, stole his boat, and forced the man aboard so they could pass through the guarded bridges. Alide promised the sailor they would release him once they were clear. Lorcan warned the man that betrayal meant death. After they passed the final bridge, Alide emerged from under the table as she heard a splash. Lorcan claimed the sailor had jumped ship and might alert the guards, but Alide knew the truth. Lorcan had killed him despite her promise. Then the object in Alide's pocket began to thrum, alive, aware, watching. Lorcan felt it and
Ooh.
erupted, roaring with such force that the boat, river, and trees trembled. He stalked toward her, demanding to know what she carried. Alide, defiant as ever, told him to slit her throat and find out.
Oh shit.
That was when Lorcan snapped and revealed the truth. Selena Sardathian and Aelin Galanthidis were the same person, and in his eyes, Aelin was every bit as much as a killer as he was, if not worse. Alide refused to take his word for it. She would judge Aelin herself. Then she turned her fury on Lorcan, telling him that they were not the same. She lacked friends and family because of circumstance. He lacked them because no one could stand him. She accused him of being jealous of Aelin, lonely and pathetic. She ordered him to take her to shore so she could continue alone. Lorcan refused. He had unfinished business with Aelin and would escort Alide to Eelway. He intended to kill Aelin Galathinius for deceiving him with the word key. He had realized the truth the moment he sensed what Alide carried. The amulet was empty except for a wordstone ring and a mocking note that read, "Here's to hoping you discover more creative terms than bitch to call me when you find this. With all my love, AAG."
I love that. AAG.
She's crazy. Lorcan vowed he would find Aelin for Alide and make the Queen of Terracin crawl before he was finished.
Oh shit.
Sassy Aelin is turning into the old Selena again. I love it.
Yeah. It's hard to separate the two
Yeah.
sometimes.
There's like something she says in one of your chapters. I can't remember, but I like bursted out laughing. She just is such a bitch, but like in the most sassiest, best way.
Really?
Yes,
What
I can't
part?
remember what it is, but hopefully you'll say it in your summary and I'll be like, yep, that was it.
I don't know. Oh, is it the I know I kept you alive for a reason, like that one to
No, I
Manon?
don't know. No. It was just like so fucking funny. Oh, I literally will go back and find it if you don't say it tonight because it was so funny. I literally bursted out laughing.
Yeah, I don't
But,
think I do.
anyways, back to chapter 43. So they have to talk, Lorcan and Alide, because they finally stop in this small town and they have to share a tent for the night because everyone thinks they're a married little couple.
Mhm.
So he's thinking about all these things. He's helping her with the magic. She's not acknowledging it. He's thinking about Marath and all these Ilkin and creatures coming. And, at the end of the day, he's just trying to break tension with Alide. He cares about
Yeah.
her. He's having feelings for her. He's like, let's go, find out some gossip about the other sides of the land. When it rains, it pours, and so does the gossip.
I
The
love
tea
that.
comes out.
The tea.
Yeah. So they find out that Aylin's actually not in the north. She was just in Skulls Bay, wreaking havoc, and now she's heading to EOA. So their plans change because she now wants to head where Aylin is. She can't do
Mhm.
anything from Terrasin for Aylin if Aylin's not even there. And
Right.
she's like, who the fuck is even running Terrasin right now if she's not there? Not that she's been there in 10 years, but like, who knows what's going on there? She's like, to Eelway we go.
Yeah.
They flee the town because they assume that one of their carnival companions ratted them out because there's guards
Right.
everywhere. So they basically take over this guy's ship, steal it, take him with him because he's like, you'll never get past the bridges. And he's like, you're right, get on. Death sentence. But even though Allied promises the sailor's gonna leave, Lorcan doesn't give a fuck. He's like, I didn't make no promise.
Mhm.
Kills him.
Dead.
Dead. So Lorcan and Allied have this little argument after he dies because she's like, what the fuck? I promised that he would live and you don't give a shit about anybody and you're a shitty person. I think because she's getting angry, the word key kind of like rumbles. I don't know if it's feeling the
Mm.
energy or what. And then it starts to like thrum and Lorcan just like fucking roars. And I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Like,
Do it again. That's so hot. Just kidding.
Allied's probably like, ooh, roar again. What's this? Ooh.
Ooh.
But literally, he realizes in this moment that like Aelin fucked him over and did not give him a word key because he never had felt what he's feeling now
Right.
that he has figured out what Allied has.
Mhm.
But Allied's like, why don't you fucking slit my throat and find out? Since you did it to that guy. She's like, fuck
Sass.
you. Yeah, she's a little sassy. I can't wait to see her and Aelin reunite and be sassy together. He ends up finding that note after he examines, the amulet that she gives him, and she's like, "Yep, hope you figure out something else to call me other than bitch. Love, AAG."
AG. The best.
And he's like, I am gonna make that bitch crawl. He is ready to help Allied find Aelin so that he can kill her. But I don't think that's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
No.
Especially because he's gonna be begging at Allied's knees soon. Can't kill the queen that she worships, so she'll hate
Right.
you.
Yes.
That's gonna be what stops him ultimately, I'm sure.
I love it.
Yes.
Chapter 44 of Empire Storms, Aelin dreams of the world beginning and ending in fire before Rowan wakes her to find that she is literally engulfed in flames, burning through her clothes. Rowan reminds her that she is the master of her power and that the fear allows it to take control. He tells her that he sees her and he is not afraid. Aelin remembers who she is, Aelin Galathinius, and refuses to be afraid. She regains control and snaps out of the episode, teasing Rowan that if he is going to be bossy, he can sleep on the floor unless he starts acting like a prince.
Mhm.
Rowan asks why she lost control, unsure whether the goddess had overtaken her again. He acknowledges his own territorial Fae instincts, but Aelin tells him that she does not expect him to be human or apologize for who he is. Rowan is who she wants and needs. Though she does not enjoy the Fae territorial behavior, she heard his voice guiding her back and recognizes how much he gives her. Aelin tells Rowan he offers her more than she could ever ask for. There is no time for political marriages or foreign alliances. They only have the present. She does not want a husband who would compete with her for dominance and tells Rowan again that he is all she needs. They agree that if they survive the war, they will finally allow themselves to rest. Rowan tells Aelin he loves her and he would walk into the burning heart of hell to find her. Aelin tells him she loves him too, and they are consummating this moment.
Indeed.
Sexy.
Sexy.
Meanwhile, Manon wakes to find Dorian in her room. He asks whether she was responsible for the ripple of power that swept through the ship, but Manon tells him no. She explained that witches only unleash power through the yielding, a final act that releases immense power at the cost of the witch's life. Both sides used the yielding during the witch wars. Manon notes that while lower level covens may still resort to it, the older covens are too proud and will fight their way out instead. Manon and Dorian continue flirting, with the tension escalating. Dorian ultimately leaves her frustrated and wanting more, even teasing her by using his phantom hands before leaving.
Oh, heating up in this chapter. All of our couples, really. The romance is romancing.
Yes, we're having a little romantasy finally.
Yeah.
Also, why do we think Aelin was dreaming and engulfed herself in
I
flames? Like, do you think
know.
this is just like stress induced?
Yeah. Or maybe like, like a backlash or like an aftershock of using her power. Maybe that's what I was thinking at first. Because she's
Hmm.
used so much of it, like literally tapped the bottom of the well, even though she found more power after that. But I don't know if it was like an aftershock kind of thing.
Yeah, because she never kind of explains what was going on. She's like, I
Yeah.
guess I just slipped, but he was like, what made you slip on your control? And she never really
Hmm.
answers. She's just like, get me a glass of water. And
Maybe she had a bad dream,
yeah,
but she won't tell us because it'll be like step 47 in her plan. And we're only at like step
step
3.
five.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But then we have a cute little moment of them being like,
I
I love you
know.
too. And then
They're very lovey-lovey in this chapters.
I know, I love it.
They can't even look at each other without being like, "Get in the bed." No.
Yeah. He's like, I will walk through burning hell to find you.
Yeah.
I read that out loud to Russ last night, and I was like, "How come you never say anything like that to me?" He's like, "Okay, you're a very pretty little psychopath right now." I was like, "That's not what I was looking for."
That's so funny. You're a pretty little psychopath.
Yeah. Also, Manon and Dorian, love
I
that.
know.
This is the second time the yielding has been brought up.
Yes.
Should make you very
I
nervous.
know. I am nervous, and I'm nervous for the settling too. That
Hmm.
comes up again in this section.
Yes. Lots of things to worry about and
I'm
remember.
very worried. I'm very worried.
And then I want to know what Dorian's phantom hands feel like. And I also want them to take off my shirt.
Wait, but like the dominance of his
Right?
like presence with her though, I was like, whoo,
We haven't really seen that out of him
I
before.
know. I'm like, damn. And he like kisses her right away. I'm like,
This is like, I feel like when I was obviously I've been rereading all these books and I've always just like loved Dorian, but it's really Dorian with Manon that I think I really like because like
100%
post collar, he's like this
sexy.
dominating,
Yes.
sexy man with phantom powers.
With phantom hands that can do things to you.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Now I get it, Megan.
Shit.
She likes a morally gray dominant man.
I sure do.
Meanwhile, your boyfriend's like the nicest
Yeah.
non-morally gray guy.
Meanwhile, my boyfriend's like the biggest teddy bear
Yeah.
ever.
That's why he doesn't say these dirty things to you from these
Yeah,
books.
he's so cute. He's like, "Oh, you're so pretty."
Aw.
And I'm like, "Choke me." I'm just kidding. And he's
Me
like,
too,
"No,
Megan. Me too.
he's like, "Let me tenderly look into your eyes." I'm like, "I don't know. Smack my ass a little more."
That's so
So
funny.
bad. He probably wants to throttle me. I'm like, "Good.
Probably.
Do it."
She's like, "Give me a black eye." I can't.
Oh, no.
Empire of Storms, Chapter 45. Adian began the morning by serving breakfast to Manon, immediately catching the unmistakable scent of her arousal mixed with Dorian's, an intimate detail he wasted no time gossiping about with Lysandra. She suggested that after Sorsha's brutal death, Dorian might now be drawn to danger, but Adian wanted no part in that mess. His attention shifted to the explosive confrontation he'd witnessed earlier, Aelin and Manon going head to head over Alide. Manon had revealed everything Alide had endured under her uncle's cruelty, and that the girl was now alone in the world. Aelin, furious that Manon had left Alide behind, struck her across the face and conjured a ring of fire around her throat, forcing Manon to swear her information was true. Both women were still seething long after. Meanwhile, Lysandra teased Aedion about avoiding his father, Gabriel, who was currently guarding Abraxos, the massive wyvern who barely moved except to hunt, often with Lysandra in sea dragon form. Aedion insisted he wasn't avoiding Gabriel. He simply did not care to talk to him. Lysandra admitted she wanted to hear the story of how Gabriel had met Aedion's mother, noting that Gabriel was surprisingly kind for one of Maeve's cadre, certainly kinder than Fenris, which Aedion agreed with, which I think also is foreshadowing for Fenris later in this section.
Ooh.
Their group rotated through shifts, with Lysandra and Rowan often flying far ahead or behind to scout. Aedion never admitted it, but he counted every minute until Lysandra returned safely. She had been training hard with Aelin, Rowan, and Aedion, building on the skills Arabin had once taught her as an investment in his prized asset. Now she wanted to learn for herself. Tension rose again when Dorian confronted Aelin about keeping Manon locked up. Aelin shot back, asking whether he formed that opinion before, during, or after his midnight visit to the witch.
Oof.
Rowan stepped in, asking Dorian why he believed Manon should be freed, which made Aelin roll her eyes.
Yeah.
Dorian defended her fiercely, even invoking his authority as king when Aelin refused to listen. Eventually, Aelin relented. Manon could leave her room, but only under guard and with her wrists chained. Dorian insisted Manon had saved his life twice, but Aelin doubted it was out of goodness. She believed Manon always had her own reasons. Gabriel, however, pointed out that Aelin's face had been enough to break Rowan from 3 centuries of a blood oath, so perhaps anything was possible.
Yeah.
Before dinner, Aelin decided to see whether the wing leader wanted to take a walk on the deck. She, Dorian, and Rowan headed to Manon's quarters, with Fenris trailing behind. Aelin hoped Manon would share more about Marath and Erwan, if she was even willing to speak after their earlier clash. Rowan and Aelin exchanged heated thoughts on the way, both imagining a far more intimate round 2 later.
Oh, shit.
But when they entered the room, Manon's attention snapped to Fenris. She demanded to know who the stranger was. Dorian insisted she knew him, Fenris, one of Maeve's sworn warriors. Manon's eyes narrowed. No, he's not, she said, just as her iron nails shot out a heartbeat before Fenris launched his own attack.
Oh, shit.
Crazy chapter.
Yeah.
Crazy chapter.
Such a crazy chapter.
I love being in Aedion's POV though, and I love him and Lysandra together. And also Abraxos and Lysandra, the best
Yeah.
fucking duo.
Yeah.
Hunting as fucking sea dragon and wyvern.
Yeah. That's
I
so
love
fun.
that.
Me too.
Oh, that just made my heart happy.
No.
And I love that as soon as Aedion smells the arousal on Manon, he goes
Oh.
and gossips with Lysandra.
Yeah. They're like besties, but they're also attracted to each other.
Yeah, it's so cute. I can't wait for them to finally get together.
Mhm.
But Manon and Aelin actually go head to head over all the information that she's giving her about Alide. And Aelin beats the shit out of her, basically knocks her out unconscious because she ended up leaving Alide alone in the world.
She had
When,
no choice.
yeah, she didn't have a choice. But, Aelin doesn't think that way. Aelin's like,
Yeah.
you dummy! Smack, smack, smack. Actually, I have a prediction at the end of this section about Alide, but I'll wait.
Okay.
So, Lysandra encourages Aedion to talk to his father because Aedion's like, I know he's there, but he has no desire or interest in speaking to him again. Lysandra's like, he's actually nice for one of Maeve's guys, and I kind of want to know the story of your parents. And Aedion's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, if someone else is going to ask, then maybe I'll just be in the room.
Yeah.
And it's so cute. Here's more romance again with Lysandra
I
and
know. We
Aedion.
forgot to
Like,
mention them earlier.
yeah, when she is on the scouting with Rowan and he's like anxiously counting the minutes until she's back. I'm like, that's so cute.
But everyone is like really paired off at this point.
Yeah. But everyone's also like, camaraderie is amazing. Like, they're all helping her train, they're all hanging out with Abraxos.
I love Abraxos.
I know, I love him too, and it makes me so sad later when she's like, "You gotta go, you're too big and noticeable." I'm like, "No, not
I know, but I
Abraxas."
do feel like they like Abraxos better than Manon.
I know. Well, she hates Aelin throughout this whole section at least,
Yeah.
which I feel like at the end of the day, obviously, they're gonna be on the same side, but
Well, I think they're still working together right now. They just
yeah.
are having a pissing contest.
Yeah, exactly, because they're both queens.
Yes.
And, Manon does not take shit. She's immortal. She ain't no like fucking half fae, half human girl. She's not gonna let this
Mhm.
queen tell her what to do. She's like, I run this shit. But really, she's also scared shitless of Aelin.
Yeah.
So she's like from the
Yeah.
from her quarters. Yeah. Dorian sticks up for Manon here, being like, she doesn't have to be fucking locked up. Like, she's not gonna kill us. And even pulls out his little king card. He's like, I'm a fucking king too. I should have a say. And finally, they agree to let her out if her wrists are chained and she's guarded. So
Yeah.
she's a fucking witch at the end of the day. And they are born to be like killers or whatever, like just trying to warn Dorian.
Yeah.
But Gabriel's like, "Well, your face freaking stole Rowan out of a 3 freaking
Yeah.
centuries of a blood oath with Maeve, so, like, anything's possible," which is true. I think Dorian is gonna have a positive effect on Manon,
Hmm.
and hopefully a very sexy one that we get to read.
Yes, hopefully.
Rowan and Aelin too on their intimacy journey in this section when they're walking down the hallway, just mind fucking each other on the way about
Yes.
who's gonna moan louder later. I'm
So
like,
funny.
okay,
Like
honey.
what like literally you could have been fucking forever, but like because you're like, there's too many people around, and now that you have, you're like, we don't care. We're just gonna fuck on a ship full of people.
Yeah, and you're gonna smell it the whole time.
Yeah.
I
Gideon's like,
can't.
gross.
Literally. But there was some foreshadowing too from Lysandra earlier saying like Fenris was a douchebag basically because now when all of them go into the room to see Manon, she's like, "Who the fuck is that?" And they're like, "What do you mean it's Fenris? You know him, like,
Yeah.
duh." And she's like, "Oh hell no, it's not." And they fucking attack each other. I'm like, everything
Crazy.
is a fucking clue. Everything.
Yeah.
It's
Everything.
crazy. It's
Got to pay
crazy.
attention to it all.
There's so much.
Yes. Empire of Storms, chapter 46. When Fenris suddenly attacks Manon, Aelin instinctively reaches for her knife instead of her magic. Rowan reacts faster, slamming Fenris across the room with his power. Manon insists that the attacker is not Fenris, and he is revealed that he is a bloodhound who has shapeshift into Fenris's form, while the real Fenris is somewhere on the ship.
Wild.
The Bloodhound admits he came from Manon, but reveals that he has already informed Erewhon of their course and who is traveling with Aelin. He also delivers a message to Manon. Erewhon killed Astrid and sent a gift from the King of the Valg to the last living Kraken queen. Astrid's braided leather band, which she wore even outside of battle. The
Ugh.
Bloodhound provides intimate details of Astrid's final moments, including her words and the baby, making the revelation unmistakably real. Dorian kills the Bloodhound before Manon can, leaving her furious that he stole her kill. Moments later, screams erupt on the deck and the ship comes under attack by Ilkin. Manon immediately fears for Abraxos. The group rushes into battle as the Ilkin swarm the ship. During the fight, Fenris is struck by poison from the Ilkin's claws. One of the Ilkin taunts them, claiming there is no point in fighting because Fenris is doomed, and delivers a message from Erewhon, thanking Aelin for confirming at Skulls Bay that what she carries is what he seeks. Erewhon now knows she possesses a word key.
Uh-oh. Not
Uh-oh.
good.
Not good.
Although I kind of after I read this, I'm like, I feel like he already knew she had to have one.
Yeah, like, I think he knew for sure, but, like, her basically using it in Skulls Bay just confirmed
Announcing
to
it to
him,
everyone. Yeah.
yeah, that she had a word key.
Yeah.
But Fenris did not take kindly to this bloodhound taking his form. But also interesting how the bloodhound was like shifter. So basically confirming that if Lysandra had been taken to Marath, this is probably this type of creature
Mhm.
Erewhon would have turned her into, which is horrifying.
Yeah. That is Crazy.
And so sad.
Thank God she didn't. I love her.
I know. Asterin, what are we thinking?
I hope she's not dead. I really don't think she is.
Yeah, like you could see it at 2 points. Like she was already taken prisoner before her execution, so they could
Yeah.
have the band that way. How they
Yeah.
have the intimate details could be from the grandmother
Yeah.
and not from Asterin herself.
I
But
think
it is also possible that, like, when they were pulling Asterin away, they found the 13 and killed Asterin.
yeah. I don't know. I just feel like if Manon can survive that giant gash in her stomach, they all can survive. That's where my head's at. The 13 will be together again one day. They have to be. I really hope she's not dead for Manon's sake. At least Asterin. Maybe like whatever, maybe some of the 13, but not Asterin.
Anyone else can go, but not
Everyone
Asterin.
else except for her. Maybe Sorrel too.
Yeah.
But
Vesta.
yeah, any other ones that we don't know. We don't know all
The one
13.
yeah.
Bye.
I
Sorry.
mean, we know.
R.I.P.
Oh my god, that's so
But not
funny.
Astrid. Please don't take Astrid.
Obviously, this bloodhound was here for Manon to take her back to Erewhon, but Dorian kills the bloodhound before Manon could after taunting Manon. He's like sticking up for his girl.
Yeah. With
And
his
then
phantom hands.
before Manon can get super pissed at him and beat his ass, the screaming erupts on deck, and the fucking Ilkin, who are everywhere apparently, are
Apparently.
are now here to battle this group.
I know. And they have wings now. So they're evolving.
I'm sick of their shit.
I'm sick of their shit too. But also, our crew is like very good at slaying them. So
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they were kicking ass and taking
yeah,
names.
they're for
Except
sure
Fenris
kicking
got
ass.
poisoned, but it's okay.
I know, but that was even wild. Like I was so shocked when they were like, "That's not Fenris." I was like, "What? Like
Mhm.
how?" Because obviously, we would have never known that.
Yeah, Aelin was like, "You're so dumb." She's like, "You took so many steps to pull this plan off when you could have just snuck onto the ship and tried to steal Manon. Like, you
Yeah,
didn't need to go through all of that." But honestly, like, it does make sense that he did that because now he has all these details about them that he can report back to Erewhon.
yeah. Maybe it was in this chapter where she said that funny thing. It was like when he goes on and on, she like
Oh,
cuts him
yeah,
off.
another talker or whatever.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what it was. Another talker.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, another talker."
She's like, "Get to the fucking point."
I'm like, "This bitch."
So funny.
She's hilarious. I can't.
She's so funny.
She has gotta be, like, up there on my FMCs for sure.
Oh, yeah, no,
Like, the sassiness and just her comebacks are just unmatched.
yeah.
Unmatched.
Yeah,
Nobody compares.
her and Manon are up there for me because
Yeah.
I've never really had a problem. Well, definitely, I don't think I've ever had a problem with Manon. I've had some things with Aelin and Assassin's Blade, but she was also like a literal teenage child.
Yeah.
But
Imagine
oh,
if people knew the things we did in our teens.
yeah. But overall, like, I feel like I don't have any gripes with her like I do with, like, Feyre and
Yeah.
Violet. Fucking A. I hated Violet through all of Iron Flame. I hated that
I know.
bitch.
I know. I love Violet, but, like, nothing compares to Aelin. I'm
Violet
sorry, but
redeemed
nothing.
herself slightly in Onyx Storm, but
Yeah, and we're not done with that series yet. I think it's
sh
gonna get better for
she's
her.
she's low on my list of female main characters.
She's like, fuck Violet."
Fuck Violet.
Empire Storms, Chapter 47. Rowan sprinted back to the ship after confirming the two other vessels and their fleets were untouched. And Ilkin lingered long enough to taunt them, saying Marath looked forward to welcoming them before launching into the sky. On deck, the scene was grim. Aelin lay unmoving. Gabriel and Adian were bloodied and battered, and Fenris was covered in poisonous green slime. Before the Ilkin could escape, Rowan snatched up a bow, took aim, and, despite everyone placing bets, shot the creature clean through the head, sending it crashing into the sea. He smugly demanded they pay up. But the victory came at the cost. Erewhon now knew exactly where they were and that they possessed a word key. They had to move quickly and hope Rolf's direction to the lock was accurate. Adian, exhausted by the constant surprises, thought back to Gabriel throwing himself in front of an Ilkin to save him and getting injured for it. He hadn't spoken to his father afterward, choosing instead to check on Aelin. Gabriel was tending to a wounded pirate while Aelin worked on Fenris, who insisted he could heal himself. She found all of them insufferable and forced Fenris to explain his magic just to keep him distracted.
Mhm.
He revealed that he could slip between folds in the world, short distances only a few times before draining himself, but otherwise had the same Fey gifts as the rest. I feel like that's going to be very useful in the future.
Also, do you think he's like somehow related to the Akatar worlds? If
Oh,
he
I thought you were
has
going to
like
say
the same
Valg. I'm like,
gifts?
oh my God, I hope not. Is
Oh,
he a word key?
no. Did he come through the gates? I'm just
Did he
kidding.
come through the gates? Gabriel joined them, who Aelin once jokingly called Uncle Kitty Cat, which earned a vicious snarl from Adian and ensured she didn't repeat it. Fenris quipped that Gabriel's sense of humor surfaced only once a century, so Aelin had better hurry up and settle, or she'd never see it again. Aelin then learned more about Fenris' past. He was born to noble warrior parents in Maeve's lands, trained by his mother while his father was mostly away at war. Maeve had taken one look at him and his brother and claimed them, twisting their lives from that moment on. She knew he despised the blood oath and likely sent him on this mission as a cruel taste of freedom. Fenris said the oath was meant to bind warriors to protect and cherish, but Maeve had turned it into a mockery. Adian asked whether Gabriel's story was similar. Gabriel explained he too was born to nobles, the fourth son, destined for no title, so he became a soldier. But Adian's real question was whether Gabriel hated the blood oath or not. Gabriel admitted he had only ever wanted to break it once. He spoke of Adian's mother, calling her a bright star in centuries of darkness, and said he would have followed her anywhere if she had allowed it, but she hadn't, and he honored her wishes, never seeking her out again. When Aelin asked whether he would have broken the oath for her or Adian, Gabriel said honor was his code, but if Maid had tried to harm either of them, he would have done everything in his power to get them free. Fenris eventually fell asleep, and Rowan carried Aelin below deck. Adian first took watch, then elevated his injured knee as Rowan had ordered. Lysandra patted over in her snow leopard form and settled beside him, and Adian smiled.
No.
A happy little ending for now, before more chaos ensues. We have everyone basically near death on the ship, and this Ilkin's like, oh, Morath is looking forward to you motherfuckers making it there.
Yeah.
But he gets away with this flying Ilkin until Rowan has a bow in his hands. They're all betting. They're like, you're not going to get that shot. You are, you are. And he fucking nails it right
Of
between the
course
eyes.
he does.
Of course he
I
does.
had no doubts.
Me neither. And it was an impossible shot, probably only one he could ever make. But you know what? The Ilkin's fucking dead now.
Yep.
He's like, pay up, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
But they are obviously fully aware that they need to move quickly. Rolf, hopefully his directions to the lock are accurate because Erewhon knows where they are and that they have a word key.
Mhm.
Adian, we go into his POV about his dad, and his dad saves him from an Ilkin. He gets injured, but he's like, you know what? I'm not even going to start there. I'm just going to go and see what Aelin's doing. And we learn about Fenris' magic, that he can slip between the folds in the world. Otherwise, he has the same magic as everyone else.
Mhm.
Uncle Kitty Cat gets brought up, which I personally love that nickname. I think it should stay.
Same.
Matorian's like, don't ever. I think he's more upset about the uncle part than the kitty cat part, but
Yeah.
who knows? We find out more about their backstories. Both Fenris and Gabriel had noble parents, and Fenris was raised by warriors. He hates the blood oath, but Gabriel kind of doesn't feel the same way. He's like, I won't ever break my blood oath because honor is my code, but obviously I only wanted to ever leave once, and it was because of your mother.
Mhm.
We know now she never wanted to speak to him again to protect Adian and lied to him about that. But, you know, makes me feel a little bit bad for Gabriel because, he was like just respecting her wishes. He had no idea.
Yeah, I think
Even
he's
though
a
I feel like he
very
should have known there was a reason why she wanted to stay away. But
Yeah. I think he is a very honorable man, and I think, like, even if he does regret something or, I don't know, he no longer likes it, he's still gonna do it because, like, he gave his word, and obviously the blood oath is, like,
Yeah.
the highest honor that you can give.
Yeah. He's like, "Honor's my code, but, if anything had ever happened to either one of you, I would have found a way to get you guys to be freed." So, there's that, I guess. He cared enough to not let Maeve capture them and torture them and imprison them forever, I guess.
Yeah. He still won't let anyone touch Adian,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Well, now that he knows about him.
yeah.
We get little Lysandra in her snow leopard form cuddling up to Adian while he smiles and rests his injured leg. Everybody's injured, everyone's sleeping.
Yep.
That's where we're at right now.
Sick. Empire Storms Chapter 48. The group works through the night, anchoring only long enough to patch the hole in Manon's room caused by the attack. Rowan begins teaching Dorian basic healing magic, though the removal of Fenris's poison is left to Aelin, Rowan, and Gavriel. Throughout it all, Manon remains with Abraxos, refusing to let anyone else touch him. Noticing Dorian watching her, Manon approaches him and dryly asks whether she should thank him for the freedom of being allowed out of her room. Their conversation turns to Dorian's magic, which he describes as feeling like a natural extension of himself, like real hands he can command. Dorian admits that even when facing their enemies, there is a line that he will never cross. Manon tells him to remember that the next time he wonders if he's a monster. Dorian asks whether Manon knows anything about the Ilkin. She says she assumes they are connected to whatever is hidden in the mountains. Aelin suddenly joins the conversation and demands more details. Manon explains that she never saw the Ilkin before, only heard them as they died and were remade, and that she does not know whether they serve as scouts or warriors. Even so, they manage to hide from her shadows. Manon bluntly tells Aelin to snap out of her mood. Aelin miscalculated, but this is a war. Cities will fall and people will die. Manon urges her to focus instead on why Erewhon sent so few Ilkin. She admits that she too had plans that have gone awry with everything that has happened to her. Aelin responds that she knew she saved Manon for a reason because Manon is a queen. Fenris
Mhm.
questions why Erewhon waited so long to kill both Aelin and Dorian. Aelin believes Erewhon did not know she was alive, and that Dorian was shielded as much as possible by his father. Fenris counters that if Maeve knew, Erewhon might have known as well. He clarifies that Maeve is not allied with Erewhon. Her allegiance cannot be bought. The cost is nameless. Aelin repeats, "Nameless is my price," and asks Manon whether other clans could read fortunes. Manon confirms that the ancients could, meaning Baba Yellowlegs possessed that ability. She suggests Yellowlegs likely knew who Aelin was the moment she saw her and would have sold that knowledge for a high price. She also believes Yellowlegs deliberately gave Aelin information in veiled terms, knowing it would torment her once she understood the truth. Later, Rowan finds Aelin vomiting in their room. When he asks what is wrong and offers to take care of her, she insists on speaking only with Lysandra. Rowan goes to find her, and then he leaves, scouting ahead in his hawk form. From the air, he sees the coast of Eelway and realizes it is burning. Eelway is on fire.
Oh, no, not EOA.
So crazy. Biggest parts, I guess, I just want to bring up in this is obviously the nameless is my price.
Mhm.
The conversations with Baba Yellowlegs. I can't remember exactly what Baba Yellowlegs told her, but we know that she had the word mark for nameless on her forehead
Yeah.
from Throne of Glass as well. And why specifically does she want to talk to Lysandra at this point? And why
Mm.
won't she talk to Rowan? These are all questions that I want you to ponder.
Interesting. Well, I knew they had a conversation, Baba Yellow Legs and her, but I again, like you, could not remember anything about nameless is the price. But now that you say the word mark was nameless, I'm like, oh shit.
Mhm.
So Aelin is the price, basically, which is why she's like when she hears that.
Yeah.
Oh boy, darling.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Her
You're it.
allegiance cannot be bought. The cost is nameless.
Nameless.
So
Crazy.
she won't ally with Erewhon unless she has Aelin?
I think he's just saying, like, there's nothing in this world that she would take to side with Erewhon, which I think is bullshit. I think everyone has a price. And I
Mm,
think Fenris, who
especially
doesn't
her.
even want his blood oath, it's just, like, interesting that he's, like, defending her so thoroughly here.
Yeah,
We'll have to see what Maeve does,
we will.
because when Rowan goes to scout, Eyllwe is on fire, and is Eyllwe on fire because of Erewhon, or is Maeve there? Because
Oh,
we know that both were sailing there, so
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's Erewhon, but where is Maeve? We haven't had any news of
Well, I
her
think Rowan
movement.
yeah, Rowan ends up going to the shore and he's, like, talking to people and they say it was, like, this darkness that came.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they, like, had arrows of flames that threw at them. So I feel like Erewhon definitely played a role, but that doesn't mean that Maeve is innocent.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what her power is.
Yeah. Interessante, Megan. We're waiting to talk about Yahweh on Fire because we're back to Allied here and
Yes.
Lorcan in Empire of Storms chapter 49. Allied went 3 full days without speaking to Lorcan, still furious with him, but when her cycle arrived, she had no choice but to break the silence and tell him she needed to stop for supplies. Lorcan agreed, and they planned to reach the next town by nightfall. Her cycles had become more regular now that she was eating properly and resting, something even Lorcan had quietly noticed. He told himself he needed the break as well. Once they arrived, Allied went to purchase what she needed and then browsed for new clothes while Lorcan bought food and returned toward the boat. But as he walked, Lorcan's magic whispered a warning. Something was wrong. Something else was in the town. Meanwhile, Allied was in the clothing shop where the shopkeeper insisted she try on the garments before buying them. The moment she stepped inside the fitting room, the door slammed shut, sealing her in. She lunged for the handle, but collided with something tall, muscled, and bony, something that stank of rotting meat and old blood. A single
Mm.
candle flared to life, illuminating the nightmare. Vernon, her uncle, her tormentor, sat calmly at a table, watching her with cold satisfaction. Behind her, an Ilkin held her in an iron grip, and then Vernon spoke with chilling delight. What an adventure you've had, Allied.
Ew.
Oh, this
I hate
creepy
him.
motherfucker. I'm so over him. I can't wait for him to die, and I hope Allied gets to torture him and kill him.
I know. I was really hoping that when she throws the fucking hatchet in my chapter that she was gonna get him.
Even just, like, to hit him, even if it didn't, like, kill him, but, like, chop his leg off and he had to have a peg leg or something. That would've been great.
And then he just had one leg. No, he doesn't even get a peg leg. He
Yeah,
gets no leg.
yeah. I can't believe, though, that Lorcan was naive to leave her alone,
Hmm.
knowing that, like, these things are obviously following them. They had, like, multiple encounters with these things by now.
Yeah, it's like a majority of the chapters we read tonight have had the Ilkin in it.
Yeah, so, like, what are you doing leaving her alone? He's like, "Ugh, I'm not going with her clothes shopping," but, like, bro, obviously, she shouldn't be alone.
Right.
Crazy. But I was shocked when Vernon himself turned up
Mm.
there. Like, I was not thinking that was gonna happen. But he's probably like, "You motherfuckers have failed twice now. You won't fail a third time. I'm gonna go get her my damn self."
Yeah, or Erewhon's make he's like, "You're gonna go get your knees your damn self at this
True.
point."
Yeah, because I feel like he's really the only one that had an effect on her, truly. Like,
Right.
kind of, like, scared her or whatever, but now she's like, "Fuck you. I don't give a fuck anymore."
"Do you see my man's back
Yeah.
there?"
He's
Just
like, he's I got husbands now.
yeah. Chapter 50 of Empire Storms. Allied demanded to know how her uncle had found her. Rising to his feet, Uncle Vernon sneered that her questions were clever, stalling tactics, but entirely expected. He dismissed the idea that Lorcan, Maeve's second, was Allied's husband, because once married, Vernon would have lost all control over her, and he would have never allowed that. Declaring that they were leaving immediately, he ordered the Ilkin to take her. As the Ilkin dragged her away, Allied realized that she had no choice but to fight. Lorcan was gone, or so Vernon believed, and Marath awaited her if she did nothing. Vernon added one final cruelty. Manon was dead, killed by her own grandmother, and Erewhon would be very interested to learn what Allied had been doing and what she had taken from Caltaine. The word key still rested in Allied's pocket, thrumming, awakening. A quiet, wise voice urged her not to use it, not to acknowledge its power. She knew she couldn't let herself be taken back to Marath, and though the voice warned her, she reached instead for her knife.
Oh, no.
Unseen, Lorcan was already watching, his weapon trained on Vernon. The sight of Alide sobbing in terror filled him with lethal rage. When Alide turned the dagger on herself, Lorcan hurled his hatchet, the blade flying harmlessly wide and away from Alide. Chaos erupted. Lorcan leaped into the fray, slaughtering the Ilkin with brutal efficiency. Alide, refusing to be helpless, joined the fight herself. Two Ilkin managed to seize her uncle and carry him away. To the last Ilkin, Alide snarled a message for Erewhon that she was coming for him for what he had done to Manon before killing it. Lorcan gathered Alide into his arms and carried her back to their camp. He cleaned her wounds, healed her wrist and nose, and listened as she told him everything: Manon's fate, Kaltain's sacrifice, and the word key she now possessed. She didn't understand why it was meant for Aelin, but Lorcan explained the word keys and the word gates, and how once Aelin held two of the three keys, they might finally have a chance to win the war. Lorcan reminded Alide of the promise he had made her. He would always protect her. He would always find her. She kissed his cheek
Aw.
and whispered that she would always find him too. When Alide woke the next morning, she discovered that Lorcan had quietly torn strips from one of his clean shirts so that she could use them for her cycle. A small, tender act that spoke louder than any vow.
Oh, so
I
cute.
love I loved that part. So the beginning
I
of this
know.
chapter is so yucky with stupid Uncle Vernon
Hate
trying to
him.
shove Alide into a box to be flown back to Marath. And she was like, I will not go back there. Just like she said in her chapter, she's like, I'd
Mhm.
rather kill myself than ever go back to Marath. So that's exactly what she was going to do, thinking Lorcan was gone, which we
Yeah,
should have
that's the
never
only
doubted
reason why.
Lorcan.
Yeah, but that's I feel like the only reason why she was gonna kill herself because he had convinced her that Lorcan had left her.
Yeah. She's like, "I'm gonna stab this dagger into my heart." And Lorcan's like, "No,
Oh,
you're
hell
not,
no, you
bitch."
ain't. Yeah.
Fucking whips the dagger.
Not that heart that I
Hatchet.
love.
Yeah. And yeah, they jump into the fray, and he knows that she's not gonna go run into the alley to hide.
No.
Like, she's going to get the fucking hatchet so she can kill some fucking Ilkin because she's a badass.
Yeah, like, literally seeing Lorcan and him fighting for her, like, brought life back to her. She's like, "I am not helpless. I'm not gonna sit around and hide. Like, I
Yeah.
will kill, and I will be part of this battle," and she does.
Yeah. I'm
And
so
she
mad the
has to
uncle
get
got away.
some battle experience if she wants to help Aelin, so
That's true. This is like perfect on the job training
exactly.
with Lorcan, the hottie hot, strong, massive Fey male.
Yep, our favorite kind.
I might like him a little too much.
Me too.
He's such an asshole, but he's so good to
I
her. Or
know.
he's starting to be good to
I
her.
know, I know. Besides him killing that guy, he could have done without that.
Yeah, yeah. But the uncle gets away. Alide delivers her message. And then we have a heart to heart moment with Lork and Alide where they basically finally tell each other the full truths about
Mhm.
everything about Manon, what Kaltain's sacrifice, the word keys. And she's like, I don't know what any of that means. So he's like, let me tell you what I know while I'm
Yeah.
healing you. So I feel like that was a very big, like, bonding step for
Yeah.
them.
Trusting each other.
Yes. And he's like, I made you a promise that, like, I would protect you and I'll
Mhm.
always find you. And at the
Aw.
end of this, she kisses his cheek and says that she would always find him too. And
Lots of
literally,
little kisses.
he's staring at her. Like, she's like, he just keeps staring at me as I'm like getting into bed. He's like, and the man had no, what is it? Had no words to speak. Like, he's
Yeah.
too shocked to speak.
Literally, he's like, "Did that just happen?"
It's
For,
like,
like, hours after.
her lips touched my cheek.
Yeah. Now he's even more gonna be obsessed with her.
This
Even more.
untouched maiden?
Indeed, darling.
Oh,
All
cute.
right. Last chapter of the episode.
Just bonding
Empire.
over your period.
Yeah, literally. Empire Storms chapter 51. EOA's coastline was in ruins, burning village after burning village. For 3 relentless days, Aelin and Rowan moved from settlement to settlement, extinguishing flames until Aelin's lips were cracked and peeling from thirst and exhaustion. Rowan had gone ashore to question survivors, learning that a strange darkness had swept over the land in the night before flaming arrows rained down. Yet there was no trace of Erewhon's forces. Some villagers whispered that ghosts had attacked them. Others spread the far more dangerous rumor that Aelin Galathinius herself was burning Eelway, even as she fought to save it. Rowan urged her to ignore the lies. They had also quietly discussed her continued nausea, but they decided she wasn't pregnant, though the lingering sickness made her uneasy. She didn't have the nerve to ask Rowan whether he even wanted children after losing Lyria. Everything since Fenrir's chilling declaration, "Nameless is my price," has blurred together, but all of Aelin's fatigue evaporated when the stone marshes finally came into view. Manon would accompany them inland, though Aelin insisted Abraxos could not come. The wyvern was too large, too conspicuous. Manon ordered him away, her heart breaking even as she obeyed. She hated Aelin and her court for forcing the separation, but she clung to the promise that she would see him again in 4 days. Watching Aelin's group prepare reminded Manon painfully of her 13. She refused to believe Astrid was dead. She refused to believe any of them were dead. As she stood on deck, she wondered whether the Krakens had even known that the child of Lothian Blackbeak and a Kraken prince had survived. No one spoke when she dropped her half sister's coat into the sea and watched it drift away. As they were
Mm.
preparing to depart, Aelin told Manon quietly that you don't stop seeing their faces. Manon realized the queen wasn't talking about the 13 at all, and she wondered, when Aelin watched the coat float out to sea, did she see the fabric on water or did she see blood spreading across the waves?
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit is right.
I just like always think of Manon with her red cloak, and so it's so weird that she just like dropped it into the
I
sea
know. Almost as like a funeral
for her
for
her
killing
half
her half
sister.
sister. Yeah,
Oh,
which is so sad.
that is really sad.
I feel like her even inquiring about the Krakens, knowing about her, I feel like someone's going to know about her.
Right.
And it's going to be a good thing for her. And I also think I just have to add in my prediction that Abraxos, when he flies away, he's going to find a light. A light's going to come back with Abraxos to Manon, and they're all going to have a happy ever after reunion. Abraxos will be key here. Because what the fuck
Oh,
else is he going to do for 4 days?
he's gonna go sunbathe
Yeah.
somewhere and sniff flowers,
That's
obviously.
very true. But Lorcan and Alide are on their way to Eelway, so he's gonna be around. They're gonna be on their way.
We'll have to see.
I see that happening, that reunion, which I'm excited for.
Yes.
There's this disgusting rumor that Aylin's fucking starting these fires, even though she's working tirelessly to put them all out in Eelway. And finally, they get to a point where they put out all the fires, I guess,
Mm.
because they see the stone marshes in view.
Mhm.
And they're like, okay, we got to leave the ship, collect all our supplies, go inland, and find this fucking lock. And they are not leaving the Kraken Queen on the boat. They are taking her with her.
Yep. We'll have to see what happens
We'll
next.
have to see what happens next. Next week, we're reading both books again, right?
Yep, we're back to
Tower of Dawn. I
Dual
kind of
Tower
miss
of
Kit and
Dawn.
Irene a little bit.
Y Yeah.
Not so much Sartok and Nesrin, but I miss Kale and Irene.
Yeah. Watch, it's just gonna be Sartok and
I
Ezra
know.
next week.
I just jinx us. Fuck. I hope
Yeah.
not. But that's all we have for you today. Please let us know what you think by leaving us a review and comments on any of the platforms you are listening/watching on or on our social media pages. This helps tremendously to get the word out and lead more listeners to find our show and tune in. And come join our book club Discord. You can find the link in our bios on Insta and TikTok. And next, we are reading The Hunted Heir and The Rivaled Crown by Holly Renee. We love chatting with you guys, so don't be shy.
Don't forget to email, follow, subscribe, rate us 5 stars, and tell all your friends about us, and we hope the rest of your day is blissful.
Bye.
Bye!
Thank you so much for listening. Join us next time for part 9 of the Tandem Read by Sarah J. Maas, featuring Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn. Happy reading!